Hi, I'm Emily and this is Made on Mill. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I found this quilt at a thrift store recently. I ended up making a dog jacket out of it, and this week I decided to make a matching skirt for myself. I had this red skirt that I liked the fit and design of, so I decided to use it as a template. When I tried it on, I made a note of any fit adjustments I wanted to make, as you can see here with the safety pins. Then I went ahead and pinned it to the quilt so I could trace around it. I wanted the quilted skirt to be a little bit shorter than the template I'm using here, so I'm just going ahead and making that adjustment. I added a 1/2-inch perimeter to the outside of the skirt when I was tracing it because I'll be using a 1/2-inch seam allowance. Once traced, I went ahead and cut out only half of the skirt, stopping and starting at the center line. I'm going to be adding a separate waistband later, so I didn't include the waistband allowance in the front or back side of the skirt cuts. Once half of the back panel was cut out, I went ahead and flipped it, folding on the center line, and then I'm going to trace and cut around this to ensure that the back of the skirt is symmetrical. I now need to cut out 2 of the front panels, and I decided to use the back panel as my template just to ensure that the sides had the same curve and the tops and bottoms would meet. Now I'm going to be cutting 2 front panels and adding a zipper, so I need to account for a 1/2-inch seam allowance along the zipper. I wanted the pattern of the quilt to match in the center of the skirt, despite there being an interruption with the zipper. So I'm just laying down one of my panels on the quilt here, matching up the pattern. Next, I'm using pins to mark where the patterns meet. Now, since I'm using a 1/2-inch seam allowance, I cannot make the right panel cut directly beside where the pattern matched for the left panel. Instead, I need to shift where I'm going to cut my right panel 1 inch to the right so that the pattern is overlapping by 1 inch. You can see the original marked line where the left pattern was sitting, and then a new pinned line marking the 1 inch to the right. Now that I've accounted for my seam allowances and I'm confident that my pattern will match once the zipper is in place, I went ahead and cut out the other front panel. I decided to add a slight curve to the bottom center front panels, so I'm folding them over on top of each other and making this cut to make sure they are symmetrical. Before I assembled the skirt, I want to hem the bottom back and bottom front, as well as the center line that will run along the zipper. So I'm starting by picking those quilting lines that will land 1/2 inch within that seam allowance. Next, I trimmed away 1/2 inch of only the batting and lining fabric. I kept the main fabric intact because I'm actually going to use that in a casing technique to fold over and enclose those raw edges. Once trimmed away, I took the main fabric and folded it towards the back so the raw edge of the main fabric met the raw edge of the lining and batting. Then I went ahead and folded the main fabric over once more so that it overlapped with the lining fabric and batting, and I could go ahead and pin this in place, and then all my raw edges would be enclosed. I stitched down the folded main fabric with a straight stitch, getting as close to the fold as I could. And I did this around on the bottom back panel and bottom and center line of the front panels. I added the zipper off camera, but essentially I used that stitching line I just made and stitched on top of that to attach the zipper. I ended the zipper right around the curve, and then I allowed the zipper to extend past the top of the skirt because we're going to be adding that waistband later, which will enclose the top of the zipper. Now that the hemming was complete and the zipper was installed, I went ahead and assembled the skirt by attaching the back and the front panels along the side using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I then went ahead and tried the skirt on and marked out where I needed to add darts. Darts are a great way to make sure your garment is fitting you properly. We're using a flat piece of fabric and essentially trying to put it on our bodies, which are not flat. So adding the darts really does add a lot of shape. So now that I knew how much I needed to take in and where, I went ahead and made sure the darts were spaced equally on the back and on the front as well, making sure that they were the same length and the same distance in from both sides. To sew a dart, I start at the top or the widest part of the dart and use a straight stitch and work my way down. Now, where you're reaching the taper of the dart, I really try to make this gradual and try to leave the fabric as slow as possible, if that makes sense, and don't backstitch at the bottom of the dart. When you're finished with the dart, afterwards, you'll take those two loose threads and tie a knot to secure the stitching. This is how the darts are looking. I'm just going ahead and making sure that the two back darts and the two front darts match each other. Once I was happy with them and knew I didn't need to unpick any stitching, I went ahead and secured them. With the skirt unzipped, I went ahead and measured the width of my waist to see what size of waistband I would need to cut. Once I understood that, I grabbed the quilt. Now I'm trying to create as little waist as possible, so I did end up cutting two pieces of the waistband and stitching them together. I don't mind seeing that seam. If you do like or you don't like seeing the seam, then definitely cut one piece. I decided to do a height of my waistband as 7 inches because once I fold it in half and account for the seam allowances, it'll be much shorter. You'll need to take account of your zipper length when you're figuring out how big your waistband is going to be. For my zipper, I knew I could kind of tuck the top into the waistband, so I wasn't super concerned if it was a little bit shorter or longer. Now, before we attach the waistband, I actually wanted to take care of finishing those side seams of the skirt. So similar to how we did the hem, I'm going ahead and trimming away only the batting and lining fabric. Then I'm folding the main fabric over twice and stitching that down. There are certainly other ways you could finish these raw edges. However, I think this kind of casing technique, and correct me if I'm using the wrong term for that. I think it's really clean. It reinforces the seam, and I like having those like stitching lines on the outside. I think it looks interesting. To attach the waistband, I found the center point of my waistband and the center point on the skirt, and I lined those up. Then I went ahead and pinned the waistband to the skirt with the right sides facing each other. Now, for the center of the skirt, I didn't sew the waistband down all the way to the zipper. I left a couple inches there so that I could finish off the top of the waistband. I kept that half-inch fold that was the seam allowance along the bottom of the waistband. I kept that fold going, and then I flipped over the short edge of the waistband towards the inside of the skirt, and then kind of understood how wide my waistband needed to be, and then trimmed any excess fabric. Once that was done, I went ahead and pinned it in place, just checking to make sure everything looked good and making sure that the front of my skirt along the zipper there kind of carried up along the waistband and everything was matching. In order to carry that seam that attached the waistband to the skirt towards the edge of that zipper there, I decided the only way to do it without seeing stitching was to hand stitch here. It's a little bit hard to see, but hopefully I am demonstrating it clearly. I essentially just took my needle and put it behind all the seam allowances that are tucked into the waistband there. Then I brought it through, catching the top of the skirt, but making sure not to have any visible stitching on the front of the skirt. I went ahead and also did some extra stitching to secure the zipper, and then moved my way back towards the center of the skirt and stitching up towards the top of the waistband. If this is confusing to you, you can certainly use your sewing machine here and run a top stitch. It's not a big deal. It probably won't really even be that noticeable. Just be careful because there are a lot of layers here, so go slowly with your machine. Now that the waistband is attached to the front of the skirt, it's time to attach it to the reverse side. So to do this, I have the wrong side of my work facing up. I'm taking the top edge of the waistband, folding in by half an inch, and then folding the waistband in half. Now, that folded edge of your waistband should be sitting just below the stitching line you use to attach the waistband to the skirt. Now go ahead and pin this in place. You'll also need to fold in the shorter edge of the waistband by half an inch and pin that in place. We'll now run a top stitch starting from the top corner of the waistband, running it down along the zipper, making sure to catch the zipper. Then you will pivot your work and stitch in the ditch along that stitching line where we attached the waistband to the skirt originally, and you'll want to catch that waistband on the reverse side in those stitches. Now the skirt is all finished. What do you think? Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this video to be helpful or at least inspiring. If you could please like, subscribe, and share, I would really appreciate it.